Alright, what you see here is a NuTone ProLine 2 industrial ceiling fan. It's the 48-inch version, which is a lot more uncommon than the 52-inch version. Not the 52-inch, the 56-inch version. Now you do see these, or the first generation ones, the 4-bladed ones in a 48-inch configuration quite often, but the ProLine 2s, not so much. I got this from Andrew Wu, better known on YouTube as Ceiling Fans and Fans. He got this out of a abandoned warehouse, and there was another one there from what he said in the video, but that one already got scrapped. Now, appearance-wise on video, it looks to be in really nice shape. However, in person, it is in pretty rough shape. However, I figured maybe get it off him anyways, just because I don't see these too often out in the wild, especially for well, not that I don't see them out in the wild, it's just to come across one, to get my hands on one is the trickier part. So, yeah. Now, there's an icing place at the Salem Willows that has 2 of these, and that's why the 48-inch one's a pretty big childhood fan for me. Same with the 56-inch ones. And there's a liquor store, more like a mini market, that has 4 of these, so now they have replaced one of them with a Hampton Bay Industrial, which probably performs better than this. So, yeah, I definitely can't really get a video of those ones. I really doubt they'd let me, but I can always try in the future. I didn't even notice they were 48-inch ones until I walked in there one day recently, because they had the Hampton Bay Industrial on reverse. So I just wanted to just let them know that it's better to have it on downdraft, that way they can feel some air from it. But yeah, this fan most likely got water damage. I'm not 100% sure. The bearings are definitely pretty rough. It definitely has been exposed to moisture due to the rust on the blades and the motor. So that could be what's causing the bearings to be the way they are. The bottom's a little bit scratched as well. Now, it did have a pretty bad wobble to it in the original video that he did of it. I did balance the blades quite a bit. They're a lot better now than they were before, so it won't wobble nearly as much as it did when he first had it. And I am using it on this 4-speed Casablanca wall control, and that's what I'm going to be using for the industrial fans, unless they come with their own control. But this will be what I use for fans that don't have their own control, or if they come with a solid state one, I'll probably use this instead. That way it won't have so much noise. But yeah, this one is a pretty early one. It's from 1992. Just seeing this one all beat up kind of reminds me of that old Dayton. Well, it's not an older one. It's the leading edge type one at that car wash that was all rusted and such, which is now long gone. The other 2 fans are still there to this day. I haven't done an update because it's been like the same for the past 3 years. But they're just using it as like a space for the trucks that do city work and such. That's really what it's been used for. But yeah. But yeah, these are pretty big childhood fans for me, and the fact I was able to get this, I'm really happy about it. So Andrew, if you're watching this, I really do thank you for selling me the fan. And I do kind of like seeing these NuTone ProLine 2s in somewhat rough shape. It's just kind of childhood for me. It definitely could use a new paint job, but I don't really see myself really getting to it anytime soon, unless I really, if it was a lot worse than what it already is, and then I'd do it. But I've seen industrials in a lot worse shape, so I'd rather leave it the way it is. All right, let me go ahead and start off on low. But yeah, these replaced the ProLines around 1989 or so. And from what, if I'm not mistaken, these are made by Alaska, and then later on they weren't. That Alaska ceiling fan I got in the Dominican Republic, as you can tell, looks very similar to this. And I did oil the bearings on it, but definitely it's going to need more than just oiling to get the bearings quiet. It probably needs new bearings altogether. But I might try another video of it down the road after I oil it a lot more. I just use what was left. Right now it is currently snowing out, so I'm not driving out just to get some oil for this. It's actually one of the first fans I've been testing on a longer down rod down here. So I'm actually pretty happy that it's not too low. Kind of gives me an idea how low other fans will hang with this length of a down rod, especially some of the Casablancas or other industrials. There are a few Casablancas that I'd kind of prefer just to leave it with the long down rod that it came with. I mean, the condition it's in, it definitely would make for a good beater fan. Now, I hadn't thought about putting these blades on the other ones that I have, but the spacing for the blades are not the same, so I can't. So the holes on this one are tapped for these specific blades. They won't fit on the other motors, even though they're basically the same thing. Size-wise, like the motor's not smaller and such. Now they did make the Proline 3 with 48-inch blades as well. I do notice that those ones do go pretty slow on high speed compared to these ones. I mean, it is common with the Pro lines, all three of them, to have drifting capacitors, so it could be that as well. I know the Pro lines like one of the last fans NuTone was selling up until they discontinued making fans altogether. They were selling, I know that like you can find some like on eBay and such, like the industrials, the contractor type ones. But now, as of a few years ago, I haven't seen any. Alright, now to move it up to medium. It's actually the first 48-inch industrial I'm testing down here. Kind of do wish that the low speed was a bit slower. I think the ones at the Salem Willows went a little bit slower on the low speed. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've seen them run on low. But yeah, the ones at the Salem Willows, they honestly had the regular length down rod, just have the drop ceiling above them. I know the one in the front, it's a bit closer to the ceiling, and the one that's in the back area hangs down a little bit more. So it might be that the one in the back is on a wooden beam that makes it hang down a little bit lower. But yeah, I will also post the original video that Andrew did of this fan in the description below, so definitely go check out his video of it, and also check out his channel as well. He has a lot of great videos of Casablanca fans especially. It's actually my first fan I got off him, though I have gotten a few other fans off him as well. And he does often sell fans on eBay, so definitely check out what he posts on eBay as well. It's really a good breeze on this speed. I mean, this from underneath it's not a bad breeze. Now these are known for being a cheaper end industrial fan, which it's not a surprise to me. It's from like a showroom brand basically, so that kind of gives it away that's not a high quality industrial like a Dayton or a Enviro fan. Now for medium high. And when I say high quality like Dayton, I mean like the performance out of them, not in terms of reliability. Oh, this is an earlier one, so definitely I can definitely say it's running pretty well on the higher speed. It could be the 56-inch ones that don't go too fast. It could also depend on the control, and if they're using them on a solid state control, that might kill the capacitors in them over time. Something I have noticed with some industrials. But yeah, this is like the high speed on this. Well, this is the medium high. I don't think I've seen any of the Pro Line 3s in the 48-inch size go as this fast. Now, a lot of people do consider these to be commercial fans, not industrials. To me, they're the same thing. It really just depends on what the person decides to use. I mean, you do see these in warehouses quite a bit, but more so the 56-inch size one. Same thing with silver lines. For me, the ones that are more commercial types are like the Westinghouse ones, Air Masters, stuff like that. It's just kind of like in between, I feel, of being a commercial and industrial fan. The Hampton Bay Industrials, I haven't really tested the newer ones up close. There we go. Now there's high. So it goes a little bit faster on the high speed, not a whole lot faster. But yeah, these are one of my favorite industrial fans of all time, the Pro Line 2s. Saw these a lot as a kid. Still see them quite a bit nowadays, but not nearly as much as before. It's funny because looking at it, you wouldn't think it's a 48-inch industrial, but it actually is one. I actually remember now that there was another place I had seen these, and it was up in North Conway, New Hampshire, or close to it. It was like on the way up there, on the way back. It was back in 2007, 2008-ish. No, it was around 2008. Going into that year, 2008, 2009-ish. Yeah, it was around 2008 going into 2009 that I had seen three of these at a pet store. I do have pictures of them. They were in that slideshow I did many years ago. Some old fan photos. It's the one that has the Hunter Stratford on a longer down rod and anything brass. That's a cover photo. But yeah, I don't know if that place is still there to this day. I didn't see it on the way up, so they most likely closed down. The fans would still be in that space, but I just don't remember which building it was. But, yeah, definitely. I mean, standing underneath it, it's not the strongest air movement from an industrial fan. Well, I haven't tested a lot of them up close like this, but it's not bad, but it could also definitely be stronger. But it's also the way that the blades are pitched. It really doesn't give it a lot of strong air. It doesn't really help it move too much air. It's not a bad fan if it's not something that you need to really cool you down on a hot summer day. But yeah. shut it off. Stay down. I remember the church on at the apartment where I used to live, well, on the street of where I used to live, which is really a few minutes from where I am now. It's not like it's far away, but I remember they had pro lines and they had pro line threes in there now. But I remember before that they had can arms of some sort, some curved bladed industrial. I think they were pro line threes. It might have been vice versa, but yeah, but I remember originally I thought that there were pro line twos in there, and then I noticed that there were pro line threes. But yeah, there's also that Super Mario Crosby's that has 6 of the 56-inch versions of these installed in the store. I've done quite a few videos of them there. A few of them, they all run as if they only turn on a few of them when and they have them on the lowest speed. They never put them on the high speed. They always just have them on low. It's usually always really cold in there anyways. But I remember before those 6, they had 8 of the original Pro lines, and they had 2 extra ones up where the counters were. But then they had made a new entrance area, and they kind of blocked one of the ones that was above the entrance, well above the like the blade would hit against the wall, and then they took down the 2 at the above the counters where you could pay for the food, and then they placed all of them with the Pro line 2s. I'm not sure why they did that though, because they all were working fine, from what I remember. But it was kind of interesting to me that they replaced an older version of an industrial with a newer version of it, or its successor in a sense. This was like back around 2001, 2002, and such. But yeah, it's come to a complete stop, and that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.